welcome to the Madspideyverse. You know who I am because you're watching my channel. I know there's not going to be anybody around. I just thought I'd go, just do a random live stream before I go to sleep. Got a bit of scanning and some books to do, so nothing important, nothing, on the agenda, nothing besides just sitting there in front of a camera and just talking shit and probably everybody being bored. Not that anybody's going to be watching, but that's all right. I don't mind. Most people will probably be on the other side of the world getting up and going to getting ready for work and things like that. So I just thought I'd just jump on randomly, and even if I don't talk, I'm just going to sit here and just scan books pretty much. So most of these books I've already shown. If you've watched my latest Mad Mail call, got a whole pile of gotta find my seals there. There we go. Got a whole pile of Tomb of Dracula books, so I need to scan them in and make sure I, obviously keep up to date. Oops, I'm going to the wrong thing. So where are we? My comic collection. Got to get out of the Spawn stuff, of course. In collection, there we go. All right, so pretty much just scanning books. As I said, don't expect anybody to be in there. I probably won't even talk much. If anybody obviously jumps in the chat that I know, I can always chuck a link in and they can hang out for a bit if they wish to. But yeah, just as I said, just scanning the some of the books that I've picked up recently. I do need another box again. I'm finding that a lot lately that I'm not keeping up with. I probably should buy quite a few spare boxes so I don't have to just keep buying a box after box after box. But yeah, just make sure I'm scanning obviously the right comics. So that's the thing. Like you scan a comic in this CLZ app, especially on the phone, and hey, there's a few people. Hey Nick, how you going, mate? Marcus, what's up, brother? It's nothing important, guys. Just scanning some books in. Just I just thought I'd do a random live for half an hour before I go to sleep, because it's quarter to 10 on a Wednesday night. You guys have probably just hit Wednesday morning, I would assume. I just thought I'd just hang out and scan some books. So I might as well hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Let's go. Copy. Paste. Yeah, just got off work from working an overnight. Yeah, I've never been able to do. I've always worked during the day. I've never been able to do like shift work or do night work or anything like that. So working my early shift. So all right, let's see if we can try and. That's what happens with a lot of these Bronze Age and older books with the barcodes. They don't always work when you scan them in CLZ, which is very annoying. There we go, 65. So, well, I hope you guys had a good. I know you don't. I know it's work. Nobody really likes work. Not many people get to do what they actually love to do. Like me personally, if I had my my choice, I'd probably, even though my knowledge is not as great as of probably most of the community, I'd love to own a comic shop. I reckon having a comic shop would be cool, fun. Probably be stressful, but I think at least I'd enjoy that stress. But in saying that, I wouldn't mind sort of doing something you know, in the hobby. I'm graced with the presence of the Chip Getler, our recent superstar, the CEO of StreamYard. Yeah, I know. The joke's getting old, Chip. But yeah, just thought, as I said about a million times already, just scanning books, just hanging out for half an hour or an hour. If anybody wants to jump in, they're more than welcome. Probably not going to say a hell of a lot. Just check the chat and stuff like that. I'm surprised you're around, Chip, and you're not zooming around the countryside for work as you normally are. Where are we? 62. 62 doesn't even show up. That's just great. I think it's probably easier just going a series. We'll just clear that. Series, Tomb of Dracula Volume 1. I saw a video the other day and that was interesting. Your top 5 keeper books in your collection, books you'll go to your grave with. Is it a new, I suppose, a community challenge? You know, people do like top 10 first appearances, or, you know, Beard and Cole's, you know, monthly challenges. Is it something like that, or like you nominate people and stuff like that? Because that would be pretty cool. I don't know whether there's any sort of, see, with me, it'd be probably my, you know, 5 biggest Spidey keys, I suppose you could say. Yeah, it was a challenge that I saw on First Comics too. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's something a little bit different. Yeah, I need to do some more of those sort of challenges and things like that. The only problem is it's very hard for me to get to a lot of my books and things like that and try to remember what you have. And obviously that's why I've been trying to keep up with the CLZ stuff. And obviously all you guys being American, you notice I'm saying CLZ instead of CLZ. Because we do say Z over here instead of Z. So, but yeah, I reckon that'd be a that'd be a cool challenge. Oh, if I get nominated, I might try and dig them out if I can, but probably take me too long to get to the books that I really want to get to. All I need to do, as I said, probably all I need to do is just find the box that's got my earliest Spideys in it, and probably just pick the 5 main keys that I love, I suppose, or the most expensive. I find it hard to make challenges interesting, but I thought that one was. Yeah, 5, even 10 books, I suppose you could say. Like, obviously, if I owned an AF-15 or something like that, it would be would probably be a lot easier. Hey, K Titus, hope you're doing well, mate. Aggressively, there you going? Morning, or the opposite rather. Yeah, almost 10 p.m. here, mate. As I said, nothing too flash or interesting about this live stream. Just more, just scanning books, just trying to keep up. Just thought I'd do a random live stream, you know, half an hour before I go to bed, because I do have to wake up nice bright and early tomorrow morning for work, which is always fun. Where are we? Number 60. So, but hope you guys are all doing well. Taking a break from work, getting a coffee refill. Of course, you're getting a coffee refill. I don't know why you just don't have an IV with that with coffee mainstreaming through your veins, mate. That's pretty much between you and Rob. I don't know who drinks more coffee. I reckon it'd be a good competition though. But yeah, what do you guys got coming up? Got anything interesting coming up on your channels? Any reviews, specs, interesting videos. And that's the one thing that I do find probably the hardest thing, and everybody in the community says the same thing, that it is extremely hard to try and I do need that IV. Drink sake better. Yeah, it's just so hard to keep up with everybody's content. Like, obviously everybody's got their favorites. Like, obviously, because as you guys will know, like, Simple Simon's one of my good mates. I've known him since we were kids. Obviously, we lost a lot of, contact in between in our 20s and 30s, but we've been able to sort of rekindle that friendship and things like that. So I always watch his videos, unless he does one of those like stupid cooking videos or something like that. I won't watch it, but don't tell him that. But yeah, like, you try and, like, obviously I've got a lot of favorites. Everybody's got their favorites, people that, they're good friends with, or who, really sort of have a bit more of a general interest with. It's always good to, obviously try and watch their videos, but I like, catching up on other people's videos, and obviously, titles and thumbnails mean, like, I know Burke tells me that. He's like, thumbnail, even the hashtags that you use in the videos and all that sort of stuff, like, they all catch people's attention. And that's what, makes people stop and go, oh, I want to watch that video. But yeah, I don't really sort of think about that sort of too much. Like, I've thought about it a lot more lately. Obviously Simon does my thumbnails, because, or except for this crappy one that I did for this one, because I cannot do thumbnails whatsoever. I'm working on a new shared out video for a crazy trip. Thanks, Ken. I appreciate that, mate. Obviously, you must have seen my my nominations for the Comic Book Community Awards, which I'm still very, very shocked that I actually got even voted for, let alone nominated in one category, let alone two categories. So very shocked, very humbled. Obviously, one of them I know I have absolute no chance in hell of winning, especially when the other four channels have got over like 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. I probably have absolutely no chance in hell. But I've said that quite easily. And as I said, I'm just absolutely honored. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I was just honored to be nominated, even voted for. And it's funny because, like, I've always been a shy sort of person in general. I've always been, like, generally, somebody sort of taking pictures and stuff, or, hanging out with mates and that. I'm always usually hiding from the camera and that. So a lot of people that have known me for a lot longer, known me for 10, 20, 30 years, go, what the hell are you doing with a YouTube channel? Because you don't like the camera. And yeah, I still find it weird. But in saying that, I'm enjoying myself. I'm just doing it for the community and for the fun part of it, just showing what I love and things like that. And it's pretty much it. Nothing interesting to the comment, probably just but yes, figure review or two this way. That's cool, mate. Hey, you're just doing what you love, and that's the same with me. Like, I took suggestions for my 300 subscriber giveaway. A lot of them I really want to, try and do. Some of them I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Like, I'm not a reader, as a lot of people know, anymore. I'm more of a collector now, but I still like to, I like to try and improve my channel as much as I can. But at the end of the day, I'm still just going to do what I want to do. And if people want to watch, absolutely fantastic, and I absolutely love that. If people don't want to watch, that's fine. Just hit that subscribe button and go away. Oh, thanks, mate. I really appreciate that. Oh, watch out. The comic book community hunter is in the building. Hey, Beckerman. Hope you're doing well, mate. I have chucked the link in the description. If anybody does want to jump in, I know you guys are probably getting ready for work, or as I said, I'll probably just come home from work from a night shift. You probably all just want to go to sleep. That's fine. Hey, Escargo. Hope you're doing well, mate. So the comic book community awards is just fantastic idea. It's very gracious thing that Brian LCS has done for the community. Obviously, it takes a lot of work. I can totally understand that. But yeah, we all I know not one of us would ever have a bad thing to say about Brian. He's just that kind of guy. And yeah, obviously for all the stuff that he does for the community as well. Including doing shout outs and things like that, and pushing people's channels, especially the lower channels like myself. He shouted me out a couple of times. Is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, there's quite a few awesome people on the channel that do those sort of, sub pushes for people and that sort of thing. Obviously Brian being one, the king of the Grow Together initiative, Gary B is another one. Obviously Mark from Legion does a lot of pushes for people, quite often in his Friday night hangout streams. There are a lot of people. Obviously, K Titus is another one. He does a lot of videos for people to shout them out. So, yeah, there's so many awesome people in the community. There really is. Like, I don't think there's anybody in the community that I can say, hate's a strong word, but that I can't stand or I dislike or anything like that. Like, people might think that of me. That doesn't worry me. But yeah, there are so many nice, generous, kind people in this community, and it's just, I know we all say it, but it's absolutely fantastic. Nope, I'm pressing too many buttons here. Yeah, what have I done? I think I stuffed something up there. Pressing too many buttons, not concentrating on what I was doing. 21. Better make sure that I actually entered that in. No, I didn't. Crap. Hey, Warlock. I better check these other ones now too. Wasn't concentrating what I was doing. So it's as I said, awesome community. I know we all say it. Hey, speak of the devil. Hey, mate. Hope you're doing well. Just doing a random live stream, Mark. Just nothing super special. I know, as I said, most people are just getting ready for work or just coming home from work. I'm just scanning in some recent pickups and things like that. So yeah, so I missed that one. Mine's a little bit easier to scan in. Like I saw 3 days until Oh, no, don't start with no wrestling on this channel. Go away. Where are we? Yeah, because I've seen, obviously, Nick's comics, Nick's Kicks and Comics. He pretty much redoing his whole CLZ. I don't make me. I think liking Spider-Man or The Flash is a good base test. We all get along. Hey, Lee. Hope you're doing well, mate. Saw your haul video that you did, but I don't think I could last a whole month without, getting something. Obviously, it'd be very hard to do stuff. You're a lot more creative than I am, so you'd be able to do a whole heap of content in between to get to that point at the end. Obviously, of the month, because obviously, you do all your whack lives and everything like that. Whereas me, I need stuff to show. Not necessarily have to buy stuff to show, but just I need at least something to be able to show. Otherwise, my channel is just boring. Hey, Grey Man. How you going, you pommy git? What do you guys think about CGC's latest statement about C22? Yeah, I've only heard little bits and pieces. I haven't really been catching up with what the recent stuff is. I know there's been yeah, I know, mate. You've been too busy coming down here and causing havoc. The warrant's out for your arrest, mate. Yeah, not being a slab guy, I don't really keep up too much with obviously the slab news. I know that a good company that I've dealt with a few times before, Clan McDonald. I know they've decided to give CBCS the boot altogether because they were almost exclusively just doing CBCS. And apparently they lost almost 400 of their books. It was like one submission or two submissions or something like that, like all at once. They've just lost the whole lot. Don't start, Chip. You're almost at 1,000 as you are. You don't need any more controversy so you can get more subs. Yeah, Clan McDonald pretty much have, given, I think they're going to go to maybe CGC. So I don't know what the deal is with CGC at the moment. This is what Shadow goes last night. I said there's a ton of juice in that stuff. So old I feel dumb still memeing it. Yeah, well, people are still talking about it. And that's the thing. Like, Chip's the one that started it all. It's all your fault, Chip. But yeah, like as I was saying, Clan McDonald almost lost 400 books. Or should I say CBCS lost 400 of their books. From, it was either one or two submissions. And they're going to say they did a real lengthy statement. I saw it on Facebook. I think they're going to go to CGC now, which is quite interesting. Seeing that, what I'm up to, 24. Seeing that they've been exclusive with them for, I think they've been dealing with them for like 7 or 8 years, or maybe even 10 years or something like that. So it makes me concerned if Rob had any books lost. Yeah, because we all know Rob's got like thousands of books, obviously exaggeration, but he does have probably hundreds of books out with CGC and probably CB, or mainly probably CBCS, because I know he does tend to favour them a little bit more. Not a bit thorough. I think, but should have done that from day one. And unfortunately, Chip, they probably should have done a lot of stuff from day one. Probably, Black Flag had done the right thing from the get-go, maybe none of this might have happened. But in saying that, it sort of shines a light on a company that might have been possibly doing dodgies that nobody even reported, or in like even before all this, UF4 stuff. So be interesting, and that's what I sort of think. Like, this may have been the start, but are people going to come up now and say, "Oh yeah, Black Flag did this to me"? Before all this, this acetate crap. But as long as you're able to sell one of your books, Chip, and you donated at I can't get my words out. I'm too tired. generously to Mission 22, which if you had watched Remy's Place on the weekend, you would have seen Chip generously donate generously. Can't get my words out. I really can't. Donate to Mission 22. From what I've heard from you guys, some of you guys, that it's an absolute awesome organization. Yeah, remember that aggressively green is still available. Hey, mate, why not? Why not? If there's new ones popping up, why not? I try to make a point. But they're still selling out, but it seems to be me as a troll. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I have enough trouble, even though I've put it on the back burner for a while. I have enough trouble keeping track of outstanding commissions and things like that. So I don't know how you guys do the slab stuff as well, because obviously commissions are, it's sort of one at a time generally with one artist or things like that, obviously for me. But in saying that, I have had like 10, 15, 20 outstanding at any sort of, one given time. And you guys send out, a couple of books, 5, 10, 50, 100, like that amount of books to these people. And obviously, I don't know whether you have to pay for it up front or what. I'm not sure how the process works. But if you had to pay for it up front, or even still, they've still got your books. There's still money, regardless whether it's $1 book or a $10,000 book. They've still got your money because they've got your books. So yeah, I don't know whether I could do it or not. Even if I was into the slab stuff. But yeah, it's just one of those. I reckon that's what you should do aggressively. You should start up your own company. All these guys will definitely send their books to you. It's called unicorning. I like that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether all this recent controversy with obviously now CBCS, with CGC, are people going to start looking at other companies? All I know is obviously there's Halo in Australia. I wouldn't, if you think waiting for CGC and CBCS is bad, you probably wait even longer for Halo, because Halo is pretty much just a one-man band. So it's not a very big company at all. But I know there's like, what is there, EGS, but isn't that like almost like a slab it yourself sort of thing? I'm not quite sure. I know Mark's explained it to me once before. There's obviously all the slab it yourself stuff, but like actually getting it physically graded, I don't know whether there's any other companies. I don't know, because obviously nobody really mentions PGX anymore. I'm assuming nobody uses them, but maybe they might start getting some business now with all the recent issues. But yeah, I don't know. I've never been into the slabs, as most of you will know. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Interesting times. I'm running out of space in this box. I really need another one. Yeah. So obviously, if you all hope you've all done your voting. I know I said it earlier, 10 minutes ago. Where are we? 46. Hey, brother John. Hope you're well, brother. Oh, I ran out of Tomb of Dracula books. Yeah, I hope you've all done your voting. I'm not trying to push for any votes or anything like that for obviously my categories, because as I said, everybody's got their favorites. I know a few people voted for me in the statue review thing. I honestly don't think I'd even get close. I think out of the 5 channels, I'll probably be last. but I'm just honoured to be nominated, as I said. But hopefully you vote for all your favourite channels. I did it sort of part head, part heart. Obviously, I voted for people, and I'm quite happy to say for who I voted for. Like, I voted for Mark in some of the things, because Mark has done sub pushes for me. He's welcomed me. He's been he's another great community builder. He's as I said, he's done a sub push for me, which I was grateful. Grateful. I told you I can't get my words out. Grateful for. I voted for you in every category, especially the ones that didn't apply. Thanks, mate. Obviously another one, like, anybody who's ever shouted me out, anybody who's ever been kind to me, welcomed me onto live stream, done all that sort of stuff. I try to repay the favor. What is it with this bro stuff at the moment, Mark? What are you doing? Go my mad bro or bro mad something or other, and you got bro Joe, and that's cool though. Just as I said, voted half with my heart and half with my head. I'm going to go live and do my voting at some point. Going to be fun. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think the hardest one that I had to vote for was actually the silly one, the facial hair and the hands, and I think that was actually the hardest one for me. I can't remember who I ended up voting for, because obviously Simple Simon's a good mate. Rob's a good mate. Tylox is a good mate. Who else was in there? Cole's a good mate. I don't know Bronze Age Nerd at all. Yes, I'm subscribed to him, but I don't know him. That was very hard. As I said, I can't even remember who I actually voted for in that one. But I think most of them was sort of, there was maybe 2 or 3 that I struggled with, especially if, like, say Mark, Chris, Comic Vet, and somebody else was sort of all in the same category. I was like, they're all awesome people. Sometimes that's when the head's got to come into it. So the heart will say, yeah, well, I want to vote for all 3 or all 4 or even sometimes all 5. But yeah, sometimes you just got to, then that's when you got to go to your head, I think. So, but it's just what it is. The fact might be, yeah, Grey Man should have got voted for too. That's right, mate. You've had the beard longer than anybody else. Oh God, good old Grey Man. You still been getting all those collections, Grey Man? Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's just a pity. Like, I know it takes a long time, but it's just a pity that it's such a long process. You'd think the initial voting would be the longest process, because you'd have so many random people, getting voted for, and then you got to obviously check if they fit the category all right. Ready, go! Yeah, you got to, like, obviously, if somebody with 50 subs gets voted in a 5,000 plus sort of nomination sort of thing, obviously, okay, got to take them out and things like that. So I reckon that would take a lot longer than obviously just counting votes for 5 nominations in a category. But yeah, I can imagine. I couldn't imagine the amount of work that still has to go into that sort of stuff. So yeah, I do not envy Brian at all. Obviously, he's got people helping him. But yeah, I couldn't do it. I don't have the connections enough to. I'd probably be able to get commissions for the or original art pages or something for the prizes, but yeah, the trophies and stuff would probably be another story altogether. That one, I just want everyone. Yeah, aggressively should be nominated for best comedian in the comments. No. Okay, always check with them. We didn't need to know that, John. Hey, speak of the devil. Hey, Brian. We were just talking about, I was just talking about Comic Book Community Awards. I think you probably need to redo the nominations, mate, because, yeah, I don't think I really got nominated. But, yeah, it's definitely an awesome thing that you've done, Brian. I'm just remember next year there needs to be an art category, because then I should hopefully win that one. But I did actually mention that in in the videos when he was asking for things. There's something, should be something to do with, like, comic book art, something like that. But obviously you can't have too many categories, because then it just gets ridiculous. Have I got any more FF books here before I change screens? Punisher, Spidey. No more FF books. Hey, Louis, my SM brother. Hope you're doing well, mate. You need to win that most entertaining, Louis. Definitely need to win that. There are several categories that didn't make the cut this year. Interesting. Would you care to elaborate? Probably not. Because then, people will start. Probably not a good idea. Unless you don't care, Brian. But yeah, I'd love to know what sort of things for MadSpidey's nominations. I sent the money via PayPal. Thanks, Romy. Love you, brother. And so you should, Louis. So you should. What are we doing? Marvel Triple Action. Come on, show up. There we go. All right, what do I got? Number 27. Yeah, it's just a shame we have to sort of wait. What is it? What have we got to wait till, Brian? Something like November or something like that? Oh, I think that's when it finishes. We kicked around the idea of best duo. Yeah. There's quite a lot of obviously couples, people that partner up from two channels. NFTs, nah. Yeah. NFTs, yuck. Artwork, yes. That would have been good. Yeah, I suppose it's, where do you draw the line, Brian? I suppose it's one of those things where it's like, well, you don't want to have like 50, because then it's so many. You're going to need a lot more sponsorships. That's a lot more trophies if you're obviously going to give trophies or whatever you're going to do. Yeah, but I do like how you've actually did the different sub levels. That was the best idea. Hopefully, I'm assuming it was yours, Brian. That was definitely the best idea, because it's a bit hard for, you know, people, as I said, people with 100 subs going up against somebody with 100,000 subs. So it'd be like Brother John going up against Comic Tom. Like, you know, that's not exactly fair. So I think that was probably one of the best decisions by far. Awards will be the first Saturday in December. So yeah, still quite a while to go. Yeah, I mean, I actually made an NFT. I only made the one, and it's always for sale for $1 more than the most expensive NFT ever. So it's on $1 million. So what is it? $1,001? The sub tiers were feedback from the community. Yeah, just take just take it, Brian. Just say it was your idea. I could tail him. Tom is soft. I could take him. I think you're supposed to say. Hey, Alex. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, it's yeah, I think yeah, that was probably definitely one of the best ideas. Was doing that yeah, doing the tiered thing. Obviously the fun ones, obviously the statue one that I'm in, probably a little unfair. But we won't go into that. But yeah, definitely no, some of these do have price tags on them. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. And we all know you go to like great lengths and a lot of time taken up, Brian, and we do greatly appreciate it, mate. Yeah, it's definitely a very cool and generous thing. All right, what do we got? Number 25. Sorry, I'm still trying to concentrate on making sure I'm scanning these books right at the same time as talking. But yeah. Yeah, so I don't know whether you guys are doing I'll just chuck that in again just in case. There we go. Yeah, so I know a few of the earlier guys like Nick Comic Nerd and Marcus and that, they're either just about to start work or just finished work and things like that. I don't know whether you guys are in the same boat. I would assume so, because I'm assuming it's probably fairly early in the morning. I generally don't turn on YouTube first thing in the morning because obviously I sort of got to wake up and, you know, have a shower and get changed and have breakfast and everything before I'm about to head to work. So I don't really get time to do that. Oh, watch out. Watch out.
What's going on?
Shouldn't you? Are you still taking your coffee break, are you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I decided do a quick little video and coffee break it. So
yeah.
Oh,
that's all right. Yeah, I just thought I was just sort of lying there, just like, I couldn't be bothered trying to watch something, pick something on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. And
yeah.
And I'm like, I really should scan my books and things. Uh-oh, here's another troublemaker. There he is.
Mr. Slim Jim, what's going on, sir?
Mr. Slim Jim.
Step into a Slim Jim, isn't that what he said?
Absolutely. It's Breakfast of Champions.
Breakfast of Champions. Exactly.
I usually just have cereal, but yeah.
Yeah. Coffee.
Yes, it's weird. I usually don't have my first, like, I'm not a massive coffee drinker, but I usually don't have my first coffee until, like, I usually get to work. I'll do my morning check crap I do at work and stuff like that. Then I'll make a coffee and then I'll actually sort of start the day. So
I didn't know that you guys had coffee.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, except I don't do it the way that Rob and Chip like it.
Do you just eat the beans?
Yeah, exactly.
I like it with milk and sugar.
Mm.
So whether it's like, no, the only way to have coffee is black.
I go through phases. So there'll be times where I'll do like a latte or I'll do a.
Yeah.
And then there are other times I'm doing, straight up black coffee. So
After watching Chip's coffee and comic for a day,
Yeah.
I realized that I was not in the same caliber of coffee drinker as the infamous Chip Gettler. So
Well,
when you talk about the notes in coffee, it's not me. Yes.
Yeah. Go on home, Mark.
Yes.
I'm hard at work already. Too funny.
Oh yeah, all we're going to be hearing is barking and cat noises and stuff.
That's okay. It's a normal day at my house then.
I was going to say, it's not as if we haven't seen Mark, grooming and washing, animals and stuff before.
True. Nor Remy. We've seen him grooming and washing himself before. So yeah, it all comes from full circle,
I mean, speaking of which, I don't have a shower, but
I got a hose in the back. Sure you got a hose.
Yep, I got a slop sink right over here. I'll start, doing a little.
So I wake up yesterday morning around 4 o'clock. I let the dogs out and running around and getting ready for work, and I'm like, man, what the hell? There's something's burning or something in the house. So I'm running around the basement and I'm sniffing around by the furnace and everything. And I'm like, fuck, this weird smell. What the fuck is this? Electrical fire? I'm freaking the heck out, right? And I'm like, all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, where the fuck are my dogs? I'm like, I got 2 dogs. I got a German Shepherd and a Beagle. I'm like, where are my dogs at? I'm like walking around. I go looking out in the backyard and I see my German Shepherd taking something and throwing it up in the air. And then I realized when it's landing that it has a big, nice white stripe on its tail.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
Like, son of a bitch, it killed a skunk. And dude, that was not a good morning for me yesterday. And I literally was like, I have to go into work for a meeting. I have to clean up a skunk at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, not good. Not good at all.
We've had one that's been hanging around like our neighborhood. And Angel's been trying to be really careful because I guess they kill chickens or attack chickens or something.
Okay.
And so like we've been real careful about locking up the chickens and everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like every couple nights or mornings or something, I wake up and I'm like, golly, the skunk's out again.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. That's one thing I'm glad we do not have skunks here.
Yeah, holy crap.
You don't have skunks in Australia?
No, we don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad we
That's
don't.
What I'm saying. You don't? I don't. For some reason, to me, it's like the land of possibility. Like I imagine you have every creature ever.
Yeah.
Deadly or not, like you just have everything there. Sea, land, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And our possums are definitely a lot cuter than the ones you guys get over there. They look scary as fuck.
Yeah. My dog's killed one of those as well. He didn't play possum long enough.
I'm assuming it's the German Shepherd, because that would be...
Oh, yeah. Shepherd's, he's all about the attack. Yep. He's definitely prey driven, that's for sure.
Yeah, I like German Shepherds. They're a good dog.
Yeah. She's good except for yesterday. She wasn't too good.
She was just doing her job.
Yes, exactly.
What the hell?
Give me one second.
Oh, that's got inserts. Oh, cool. Chip's a busy man. It's probably Black Flag or something calling him.
Even if it's not, I'm going to imagine that it is.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. So I'm assuming it's nice and quiet as usual, Remy?
Yes, sir. Yup. It actually, truth be told, like I've got it'll have like these little stints of quiet, but any Legion stream that I'm usually on, there'll be big chunks where I'm off screen, off camera.
Yeah,
usually when I'm doing stuff. So
Anything that involves Remy and Chunk in the same sentence, I'm DTF.
You're the best, Mark.
Yeah, but you taste the best.
I don't know what is happening in Atlanta, but something's happening there. And I was like, oh. I was like, how far is that from Augusta?
About 2 hours, hour and 45 to 2.5. Are you talking about Dragon Con?
No, it wasn't comic related at all. Angel mentioned something so random, and I don't know what it was. And I was like, yeah, we could do that. It was because I was like, we'll be in the same state.
Yeah. Depending on where you're at, you might be closer just to come straight to Augusta.
I got you. That's what I mean. I don't know what the deal was with it, but I was like, yeah, that could be a possibility.
I'm just like 90 miles east of Atlanta.
It's not bad.
I just like how you got such a big country, but you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm only a couple of hours away. I'll just drive over, and stuff like that. It's like, nah, that's too hard over here. Unless you're in Melbourne, it ain't happening. But in saying that, it could, like, if I was in the middle of, like, if I was in the central, like in the middle of the city, basically, to go to the furthest out, what they'd classify as a suburb, would be about 2 hours away, because ours is just full of suburbs. So until you get to the regional area where all the kangaroos and the drop bear, as you guys like to call them, drop bears are.
I just imagine that's everywhere. Like, your backyard to me is a giant desert that's filled with creepy crawlies and venomous snakes.
So in other words, if anybody
crocodiles, like the whole thing, like, to me, when you go outside, it's survival round the clock. Like, my vision of Australia and the people there within, they're like the hardest people in the world, because you have to deal with the chaos of nature around every turn. That's what I imagine. And then I see pictures sometimes of like cities. I'm like, you have cities? Because I thought it was just the wilderness.
And that's the thing. It's sort of like
and bunkers and stuff.
If somebody has that sort of perception of what Australia is and they come over here, they're going to be severely disappointed.
I don't know.
But in saying that, I know there's somewhere that's probably 10-minute drive from my house, and it sort of borders onto where people have got sort of slightly bigger properties and things like that. And there's a little bit of bushland, and you can see kangaroos and stuff out there. So in reality, there is some reality to it. It's full of vicious, poisonous killers, and then there's the wildlife. Yes, Grey Man. Just because you guys are all boring over there in old, cold, crappy England.
I always feel like people that come to America for the first time are disappointed, because like the movies always depict like New York or Hollywood or something like that, and then everywhere else is just slow and
just crap.
Yeah, just run of the mill. It's like, oh yeah, we got a big city, and it's like, man, it's not New York City though. There's a big difference there. So
yeah, I think if I ever got to New York City, I think I wouldn't know what to do. I think I'd be lost within the first 5 minutes.
I don't know what to do.
Have you ever been to New York?
I've never been to the city. I've driven through it, but yeah, I've never stopped in the city.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Angel was born in upstate New York, so like we've gone through it plenty of times. She's been to New York a bunch of times, but yeah, I've never been in the city. That's my big joke with DJ. I'm like, man, you're just you're big time in the big city all the time.
I always assume that their biggest disappointment with America is when they first get off the plane or the boat. It has to be the smell, because this place reeks of freedom and opportunity, and they all know when they go back home it won't smell like that.
Is that Stars and Stripes that I get it?
I will give it to every American I've ever spoken to or gotten to know or anything like that. You are all very patriotic.
Oh no, there's a lot of people that aren't. That's a misconception. The best ones are, but yeah, there's a lot of folks that are, especially now. Now that's a big trend as well.
Mm. But it's like, before every sporting event, whether it's an game final, whatever, it doesn't matter what sport it is, you're always having like the national anthem and things like that, and
Absolutely.
it's just whether it's us, it's like nah. It's like nah, fuck that. Let's drink beers and watch whatever we're watching. But yeah, no, it's even watching some of the reality shows and stuff like that. I find it very awe-inspiring, actually, how patriotic most Americans are. Whether it's us, it's like, yeah, whatever. All right. Ugh. Chip's still talking a black flag. We can say whatever we want, and he just totally ignores.
Alex Big Blue, a place in Kentucky called Kentucky Down Under.
Bigger pet kangaroos. So as close as we get to that. And that's the thing. There is a big difference between patting a kangaroo in a zoo or in a sanctuary or something like that, opposed to trying to do it in the wild.
Yeah,
there is a
where most Australians have to box them and lose.
It'd be more like stay in your car or run the other way. But in saying that, I wouldn't probably run the other way because they can hop great distances, and I think they can go up to about 30 or 40 miles an hour or something like that. So
go outside and check, man. I don't know.
Oh God. I said I got to drive 10-15 minutes, not walk outside.
No, listen, that's the reality, okay? Tyler has corn in his backyard. It's just miles and miles of corn.
Yeah.
And you have the Outback. Not the restaurant Outback. Real wildlife Outback.
Not out. What is it? The Outback Steakhouse or whatever they call it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say you're missing out on that, but you just go outside and that's what you have, right? Like I just imagine guys grilling all the time, giant steaks of whatever animal that they just.
You're trying to make
caught.
us look like the Flintstones.
Yes. Yes.
Oh God, that's
amazing.
Hilarious.
Absolutely amazing. The toughest people in the world.
That's what'd be interesting. I know he's been saying it for God knows how long now. I'd actually like to see Joe try and come over here. I reckon he's blacklisted at the airport and he'll get deported straight away.
I received a package from Joe yesterday.
Is this the really long package?
It's taller than I am.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He had two 15 by 15 by 48 boxes taped together. And in my carport, literally longer than my car, was this giant box. I was like, I didn't unbox it yesterday because I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, we might need to have a special outside episode. Because maneuvering this thing, it's not heavy, it's just so big. I was like, I don't know how to do this. So we took pictures. I stood it up next to me and I have it next to me, like taller than I am. And then I've got it Angel. It's next to Angel and it's weighed. I mean, she's half the size of the damn box.
God.
But I told Joe, I was like, Joe, next time, I was like, I could have driven to pick this thing up, man. That's too much.
God. How long would it take you to drive to Joe's?
Probably a couple hours.
Okay.
I don't think it's too bad.
It's probably a lot cheaper than sending a 7-foot box.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell. And that's what scares me, because I remember when I can't remember, we were either on Marks or on Banter or whatever we were on, and I remember we were talking about things, and then I mentioned the knife that Scott sent me, and I said I'm surprised it got through customs because they're illegal over here. And Joe's like, but what if I made you something and I wanted to send you something? And I'm like, do not do that. Because I'd be scared shitless of what you'd bloody make and what you'd send. I'll end up being in like federal jail or something like that because Joe sends me some bloody I don't know what. Oh God.
Some new type of firearm.
Yeah, and it'll be like that'd get held up in customs straight away.
No, he's gonna find all your loopholes and then work around them and build it so that it's completely legal.
Okay, now I can't have a double edge. Okay, I'll make it single edge and I'll make it half of that. And then
nothing can be made out of metal. I have to make it out of ceramic. And yeah, it's gonna be like
I'll make it in a 3D printer or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It'll
be like those guns that they used against Magneto in the movie.
3D printed, you just it'll send instructions how to construct it. Oh God. Joe's not in the chat, is he? I hope not. Oh God. Nah, I don't see him in the chat. Thank God for that. Oh. So how's your Thor book collection coming on, Remy?
Pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up.
You trying to go for the full run?
I don't know. I'm focusing more on Thor and Hulk now. That's why a lot of the Q-rated boxes that I've been making, they have a lot more of my like Silver Age, Captain America, and Fantastic Four, and Ghost Rider. Like stuff like that. Like some of the Silver Age and Bronze Age and everything, because I'm trying to, I don't know, just streamline the collection. Right now, I'm looking for Journey books, so anything Journey into Mystery that I don't have.
Yeah, that's going to be an expensive exercise.
Yeah, I really want to get an 89. And kind of start there. Yeah.
Is that second Loki?
Yeah, it's just an iconic cover. Yeah. It's just it just has Thor on the cover, but I'm trying to get one of those. I don't know, just become like a little more focused on picking up some of the Grail books as opposed to just random stuff.
Like whereas I'm trying to do both, and over here, and it's all too hard.
I mean, well, so a lot of, and I think honestly, I think you and I talked about it, but a lot of the stuff that I had gotten in the past too was just opportunity. You know what I mean? Something came up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
I know that you said like you've done that before because you kind of have to grab what you can get because of where you're at.
Yeah, exactly. It's always timing and an opportunity. That's
what I mean. Yeah.
And that's why I like going to these like little conventions, that's just in like a small scout hall or something like that, where it's purely just books. You generally get more of a, better deals and probably a little bit more variety than, the big conventions, which more focus on cosplayers and TV stars and all this sort of crap. So,
yeah.
But, you guys don't actually know, like talking about patriotic and, living in, in America and all that stuff. You don't know how lucky you are and how much opportunity you have.
I'm sorry, someone say patriotic?
Yes, I said that again.
I wouldn't know much about it.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Sean.
Neither would I.
Once Chip gets off
I would say
phone
amen, but it's implied.
We'll wait for Chip to show his flag once he's gotten off the phone with Black Flag.
When Chip decided to go up against Black Flag, he became an American flag. That was America incarnate. Chip was the flag at that point.
United States of Getler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Where is this bloody? Speaking of Thor books, I can't find this Thor book. Where is it? There it is. 351 direct edition. Yeah, like as I was saying, it was more just it's literally like there's so many books that I've been searching for, and it's either one or the other. It's either I found it at a good price for here and I don't have the money, or I can find it really easily, but they're all really expensive.
Gotcha.
So it's very hard to sort of. And Zars84, who's in the chat at the moment, that's Sean. He's one of Simon's mates as well as mine. He's in the same boat because he's trying to go for an entire X-Men run.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he's a big X-Men guy. He's got a lot of the early numbers and he's got a lot of them. But he's in the same boat. Me going for a Spidey run, him going for an X-Men run. It's not easy. But
well, I know Joe's talked about it, but yeah, I think when one of us finally makes it over there, everybody's gonna invest in certain books that go into a small box or a short box. I mean, and then they'll just sell them while they're over there and pay for the trip.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. He's only got 3 books left for his X-Men run. So I'm assuming
1,
it'll be
2, and 3.
quite possibly. But he's got a lot. He's got a lot more connections than I do, so he's got more chance of and a lot more bankroll than I do. He'd have a lot more chance of succeeding than what I would. But
well, you do have your statue collection, sir.
I have my statue collection. I have my original art collection. One of these days, I should take the camera down to the room downstairs. Not that you can really tell because it's all jam packed in there, but
well,
it sort of shows.
I remember Jim Mint telling a story about how he had several, he had all these big books, and then he sold those off and went into the statues, and then he started picking up omnibuses and stuff, and it was just kind of like a shift in collecting, I guess. He's like doesn't get very many books anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes a lot of people are doing that now. They've gone through their buy anything and everything sort of phase.
Yeah,
and they're either streamlining it, changing it. Like I've changed my collecting habits over the last probably 2 decades. Probably a dozen times. And in saying that, if I had have kept going with buying older books, I might have an entire run by now of Spidey. But I changed to collecting like movie and movie weapons and knives and swords and all that sort of stuff. And then I went to statues, then I went to original art, and then books, and then back to statues. And yeah, I've chipped and changed a lot of times.
I'm sorry, did you say movie weapons? And can you expand on that, please? Thank you for not blowing past that like you didn't just say
that. Yes, weapons based on the movies, but obviously proper replicas, not just dodgily made, $20 sort of things. I actually got proper licensed stuff. So I had like all the Lord of the Rings stuff, or that was out at the time. I had Highlander swords. I've still got the blade stuff. That's the only stuff that I kept.
I was gonna say, I know you've done that before.
Yeah. I think the only other thing that I might still have is the Cronin Sword from the first Hellboy movie. which is the thing that looks like a baton, like a cop baton, but it's got the blade on the side that he spins around. The guy with the black mask.
I'm sorry. Did you say a baton?
Yeah, like a cop baton, like a tonfa.
I got you. A baton.
Yeah. So like that. I think that's still downstairs somewhere. But yeah, I ended up. It was just getting too hard, and laws change over here too much and things like that. So I just had to get rid of it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Like you get caught with something.
Yeah. Please tell me you have the Cronin Sword. I had the Cronin Sword. As I said, I sold the whole entire collection, except for the blade stuff. No, I'm not getting it out aggressively. It's too hard to get to.
He does have it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it does not have the blades that come out of the handle, or so he claims.
Yes, exactly. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, what volume is this? Oh, I hate when they don't give you volumes. Yeah. I really don't want to go to work tomorrow. Could not be asked. Everyone chops and changes. It was pops, then statues and figures, and then comics, and then premium format these days. Yeah, Sean's got an extremely impressive collection. He's got figures, he's got statues, but he's got a lot of like that premium sideshow stuff and things like that, like those real big expensive stuff. Very, very cool.
Aggressively say, I was wondering if they had the blades that came out of the handle. Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
that's what everybody. That's like that sword's signature move. Blows that guy's hand off. That's awesome.
And then all he does is laugh his ass off, and he's lost his hand again.
He's got that yuck hand for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, look at that. Oh god,
that's great. I love the Blade movies.
Yeah, Blade movies were awesome. I think I saw the first one like 5 times at the movies.
Yeah,
at the theater.
They had a show for a little bit. I never watched it. I just wasn't interested in watching the show at all.
Yeah, I think I tried to watch it. I think I might have watched the first episode, and it just seemed a bit very low budget. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, the second I saw it wasn't Wesley Snipes, I was like, I'm done. You lost me.
It was he was a rapper, Sticky Fingers, from a group called Onyx.
No, well, sorry, Sticky, but
you stink.
Not my cup of tea. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the new guy goes. I can't pronounce his name. What is it? I know his last name's Ali. Was it Masha Hala or Masha? I don't know what his name is. I know he was in the Luke Cage first thing, but yeah, he's going to be.
I'll be interested in it. I'd like to watch it. I think it's been long enough now that I'm ready to let go of
Wesley Snipes.
Blade. Now that Wesley Snipes is 100 years old, I'm willing to let it go.
Yeah, he's still doing Expendables movies. I think he's going to be in if they do a Expendables 27 or whatever they're up to now.
Wow. Still. Wesley was on top of the world at that point.
But then he started doing the like a lot of the action heroes were trying to do. They all went to doing a whole heap of like C and D list movies, like, and just churning them out all through the early 2000s. Because he did it, Steven Seagal did it, Van Damme did it. They all just kept churning them out, and they were all just crap. But,
I don't know if that was just like a shotgun approach to it, like seeing what sticks, as opposed to more of like a sniper shot. But I think everybody was looking for like that next, like Terminator franchise movie or something. But I think all that stuff, it's kind of, I don't know. There gets a point where it's like you can't take this any further. That was the nice thing about the Avengers was like, although it was several films in the making, it was different characters, and then the collaboration of all of them, which was great.
Yeah, it was a build up.
But then when it's like
different areas.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be different if they actually did a, Terminator, Predator, Aliens movie, and then like combined all of them or something. It's like, the build up for that, it's been so long and so old and all the stories are all different and everything. You can't do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There will never be another Terminator franchise. There will never be another Alien franchise. You can't top movies of their decade. It just isn't a thing.
I could agree with that, though.
I agree, though. Avengers was great, and the feeling that I got, the experience of seeing that first movie, midnight release, opening night, can never be duplicated. Completely different feeling, unique to itself. The MCU can't even reduplicate it. Endgame had its own vibes, its own feels. Endgame, I can't even compare to the first Avengers. They both hold #1 spots in their own distinct, unique film category. Nothing like that has been done since before or will ever be recreated again.
Yeah, I didn't know about.
For some reason, I'm waiting for you to mention the Snyder Cut being better than all of them.
I thought that's assumed. Isn't that assumed? Yeah, that's assumed for sure.
Did I ever tell you when Angel finally watched that? Because I don't think she did a reaction. I don't think she did a reaction on it, but seriously, she watched it because it took a while for me to coax her into the, all right, this is a 4-hour long movie. Like when she finally committed to it, though, she was like, yeah, leaps and bounds better than the other one. She's like, completely different movie, fantastic. Like I told her, I was like, this isn't like they added deleted scenes to it or something, or like spiced up the graphics or something. Like this is a different movie. And it was amazing. Surprised the heck out of me.
Went too long. Like, yeah, it was definitely, infinitely better than the first one, but
they went the opposite route though. So instead of doing an Iron Man movie, or like going through and doing 3 Flash movies and all of that, and then connecting them. I mean, they had 1 or 2 movies for some of the characters, and then just combined everybody.
Yeah. Because didn't they say
when you
that
introduce Flash and Cyborg? I mean, that was part of the problem with the first movie was like Cyborg. You didn't know anything about it. You didn't care about the character, so they had to establish that in the movie. So that added a lot into that whole deal. And then his relationship with his dad and what his dad did and everything, there was a lot that they had to unpack because they didn't have those previous movies in there.
It's probably because they didn't want to copy what Marvel did as well. They probably wanted to do it their own way, maybe do it in reverse.
I mean, apparently with the first one, that's what they were trying to do, was copy a Marvel formula, and that's where it fell off.
Yeah, it's like I didn't mind the first one for what it was. Like it was entertaining, like, and obviously it
You're a
wasn't
Marvel
too
guy,
and I'm a Marvel guy, and there you go. I still watch all the DC and independent stuff.
I got you. Batman movie comes out, you still watch Batman?
Yeah,
just don't collect them. I got you.
I still buy the movies, like the DVDs or Blu-rays as well. So that'll be the only DC stuff you'll find in my possession
so far. I'm kidding.
No, not going down that road. What's this? Warner Brothers just can't let a vision be. Yeah, they really need a Kevin Feige sort of type person who has this sort of vision of what they really need to do with their movies and their TV series and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I think is a bit off. Is it's like they're trying to tiptoe around collaborating them together, but they're not really committed to it,
Yeah.
and that's part of the problem, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, even
no,
Hulk leading up to Avengers, I mean, they had two different movies with two different actors that really went in different directions, but they still were able to rope it in and be like, all right, we've got the Hulk in the Avengers movie, you know, and it still worked. So
mm.
it's like, y'all need to just get your stuff together and do this already.
And I didn't mind the Eric Bana one. Like, it was all right. Obviously, being an Aussie, you know, you try and support him and things like that. But
Wait a minute,
I
wait a minute. Stop. Exact. What was that?
about Eric Bana supporting a fellow Aussie.
No clue. I had no idea.
What?
I
But
had
Eric,
no idea.
you didn't know Eric Bana was an Aussie?
No clue.
Well, there
No
you go.
clue at all.
There you
That dude's
go.
awesome.
Yeah, there was definitely some stuff in that was definitely very
Great in Troy too. Remember Troy? That was a great movie.
yeah. So, like, he's definitely a brilliant actor, and it's funny if you guys ever saw some of the stuff that he did here on like normal TV before he became famous in the States, you would go, "What the
Do I
hell
need
is
to
this
leave?
guy
I feel like
doing?"
this is some research. I need to look this up now. Why did I not know this? I had no clue.
He used to be a comedy, like a sitcom comedy actor sort of type.
I had no idea.
He actually his main one that he did was a character named Peter, but because of he tried to do the like even worse Aussie accent than me, like very, very thick, he called him Poida.
Poida. Nice.
Yeah, Poida. And yeah, that was, if you guys watch that, you'll be like, that looks like Tylocks without the mustache.
See, I thought Paul Hogan was your champion, and that was it.
Nah, when he did the
I thought that was your champion from the '80s, and that was it.
And then when he hit the tax evasion stuff, it all went downhill.
He got in trouble for tax evasion. I don't know what. I don't.
That's why he moved over to LA. He left Australia and he went over there and he stayed.
I thought he was just so famous with all of his Crocodile Dundee money that he was like, "Yeah, bitches, bow down, bitches." I thought that's what he was doing.
I think it was part that reason. 'Cause I think he was trying to move back here, and then he found out he was in trouble with the bloody the tax or something like that. And he's like,
"Don't come to America, golly."
He's like, "No, I think he was in trouble from over here,
Okay.
not from over there." But
he just wanted more of that Crocodile Dundee money. That's what that was.
Yeah. All right. Can you entertain?
I guess that's not fair. He played the one movie where he was an angel as well. I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah, what was that called? I can't remember what that was called.
I don't remember either. He was like a criminal, but he thought he was an angel. He thought he was dead or something. It was great.
What is it? Paul Hogan. Let's have a look. Filmography. Where is it? No, I don't think it was called Floating Away. Almost an Angel.
That's what it was. Yep.
Yeah. He was in Flipper. I don't remember him being in Flipper.
I don't remember that either.
I haven't even seen that new one he did, the very excellent Mr. Crocodile Dundee. I haven't even seen that. What's this? I've gone my whole life with nothing but Mr. Rogers' level veneration for this man, and now I'm getting the real dope about the crocodile hunter from Australia. Crocodile Dundee, the crocodile hunter was Steve Irwin. Totally different.
Yeah, I had no clue that you had all this. No clue. No clue. Stupid me. I had no idea.
What's this? It's a film about buying comics cheap and selling them for profit. I don't know what Grey Man's talking about.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. This giant list of actors that have come out of Australia, I thought most of them were British. That is how stupid I am. If it's not American, I assumed it was British. I had no idea that you had this kind of talent.
And most of them are stolen anyway. Most of them have were born in America, born in New Zealand, born in UK, but raised over here, and we just claim them as our own.
Oh, well, that's not the same.
I think Eric Banner was born and raised here, though. Pretty sure. Hang on. I'll be back in a second.
I just imagine Chip is on the phone right now telling CGC how to correct their business. Is it right now?
Probably. And you know that they're being careful because at any moment, the whistleblower could come back out and unmask them for the crooks that they actually are.
Yeah. That was crazy about that CBCS order getting lost. 367 books lost.
CBCS?
Yeah, there was the Clan McDonald facilitator. I think it's like Tales from the Flip Side on Instagram posted where they said they've submitted over 25,000 books with their time with CBCS, knows a lot of the people in the company personally at this point, and they've been missing submissions since last July and kept checking on them. And long story short, CBCS had to just finally say, we don't know where they're at, and we're going to have to start the process of assuming they're lost. The company just moved to a new location, and they also disclosed to them that during the time the books were there, in an attempt to get caught up on submissions, that they had been mailing off books to a third party off-site to help with the check-in process. Shenanigans.
Why do I feel like MadSpidey's channel is about to blow up right now? This is going to be the stream that everybody goes to. Well, timestamp this 1 hour and 28 minutes in. You heard it here first, folks.
Heard it here first.
So you're telling me that when all this shit went down with CGC, that my investment in CBCS was wrong, and that I knew I should have invested elsewhere.
Should have been self-grading through me from day one.
Nah.
Nah. I love just throwing my own books in those comic skin slabs and getting my own label because I'm not selling them or anything. It just makes them fun to display. You know what I mean?
It makes sense if you're not selling it.
Yeah, there's
if I'm getting it and I'm going to keep it forever, why not slab it
there's
myself?
no substitute for an actual certified grade. You know what I mean? That's not what it is at all. But just for display purposes, it's really just another little fun thing to do with comics.
So one of the auction places that I buy from, all their raw books, they grade them, and I've been like a stickler for like, all right, this is a 4.5. You know what I mean? Like that's what they said. Because I'm horrible at grading. Like if you, I'll look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, 9.8 all day long.
All day, yeah, no questions asked. I think that's the same mentality that certain graders have with certain accounts at CGC. Should we even look at this extra cash in between these books says we shouldn't look at this. Just give it a 10.
Yep. Couple 20s sticking out of the top there. Oh, did I
Spidey.
forget my bookmark?
Yeah, serious question, Spidey. Do you feel 5 pounds lighter?
5 pounds lighter from what? Going out for a smoke.
Yeah, that's what they say.
No, if I had to be 5 pounds lighter, I would have been gone a lot longer.
We're
3 pounds lighter.
Does Australia make their own cigarettes?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably why they're so bloody expensive.
I didn't know if it was, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know if it was, I don't know, an import item.
I think if it was an import item, it would probably be cheaper. But it's because they're so heavily taxed over here. That's why they're so expensive.
It's how made in America products are here. It's cheaper to get stuff made in China. But if you want quality, you get made in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, if we try to import cigarettes or whatever, they get held up in customs and we can't get them.
I don't think we have any import cigarettes either. I just know tobacco's still a pretty big crop over here. So,
and it's probably like $5 or $10 a packet, opposed to like 40 or 50 over here.
that's what I'm trying to. I know last year I had invested in a lot of weed companies, but they were all in Canada. Those Canadians are really big on their weed. I take that back. They're really big on growing it for Americans.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I didn't strike it big, unfortunately, but we'll see. Maybe next time.
Oh, God. That's hilarious.
I didn't even think about that. Have y'all dipped your toe in that yet?
No,
They're
only legalizing it for medical marijuana. That's the only legalization that we've had, and it's not in every state either.
What? You have states? I thought it was just one big thing.
No, we have states and territories. So
I'm learning so much today. This is amazing.
I bet Australian smoking slang is amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of different names for smokes. Yeah, it's either, unfortunately, one of the ones that went a long time ago, and actually, no, I shouldn't say this on my channel because I could probably get shut down for saying it.
No, go ahead.
We used to
Let's
call
hear
them, one of the slang terms was fags.
Timestamp 133 into it. Clip created. Thank you, sir.
But no, we had smokes. Durries was another one. What else do they used to call smokes? Ciggies. Yeah, quite a few different.
Rayman, they do have geography. I just wasn't. I wasn't the guy. I was absent that day.
States.
I was a really good art student, and everything else just kind of went.
I just made sure I finished high school, and that was enough for me.
Yeah. I was more of a math guy. There you go.
So we used to even have a small packet of like lollies or confectionery or whatever like that looked like a cigarette. They used to be called them, and then when it became too politically incorrect, they just changed the G to a D and they called it fads.
Fads.
Yeah, fads.
And it was
Roman's like, oh, there's somebody behind me. Roasting a Dogan. Okay. That's an interesting one. I think most of the Remy was cancelled. Left-handed luckies. It sounds like a terminology for something else, I think. I think most of the weed references we got probably from the States, I think, because it was, like weed and ganja and dope and all that sort of stuff is all the same sort of thing. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Exactly. Everything's gone too politically incorrect. So, yes. What else have we got going on in the chat here? Yes, Trev, the medical marijuana. So anybody that obviously has glaucoma or certain different problems and things like that they reckon that medical marijuana will actually. I think it's done in like a liquid form, so it's not something you actually technically smoke. He's made my day by saying my made-up Aussie slang in your accent. Oh, that's hilarious. I was just reading the comments. I'm just glad Remy's not around to keep clipping me.
What happened? Are we talking about ciggies some more?
Yeah, Drac just said that I made his day by saying a made-up word that he had for weed in my accent.
I got you.
And what was the yeah, here it is. Yeah, a popular term is roasting a doggin. Some made up slang. He just liked me saying it. Oh God.
The character I play in Apex is Australian. And so
Apex, I'm assuming that's a video game. I'm not.
Yeah, it's a video game.
Anymore.
And so the character I play is Fuse. And whenever you pick something up or you ping something, they always say something. And so he's Australian, so he always says that's a Prezi for Fusey or something like that. And I'm like, Prezi.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything gets abbreviated.
Yep. But
Prezi,
he has that really thick MadSpidey accent, like that genuine, it's not like, oh no, we're not questioning where he's from accent.
He's not like it's like Old Wolf always says, when he does his sipping and drinking hangout stream, Simon usually jumps on that one and he's like, oh, here's the Simon with the fake Australian accent. And then if I jump on, he's like, this is the Simon with the real Australian accent. Oh, God. Oh, that's hilarious. I probably should really go to sleep.
I think you've been on enough live streams now. I don't even notice it anymore. It doesn't even. It's just so natural to hear now. Yeah,
it just melds into one. It's like
your accent. It's just normal to me to hear that now. I don't think it wouldn't be shocking for me at all if somebody else walked up and started talking like that. I would just be like, yeah, I know a guy. You probably know him too. MadSpidey.
Yeah.
He's been nominated for a few awards on YouTube. It's no big deal, but
I like that. Simon is an import. And I know he means the other one.
He has the simple accent.
That's exactly right.
I know they're people.
It's like it's like with all you guys. It's like I could sort of tell, the differences between, not necessarily where, south, north, west, east, or anything like that, or different regions, but I could notice different things between the American accents. But now, as you said, it all just sounds the same to me now.
I think a lot of times I hear somebody do an American accent, it's either really New York accent, or it's a thick Southern accent. Yeah, it's one or the other. It's either hey y'all, or it's a real thick New York accent.
And Drax do I have an accent? But Canadian
No.
accent to me,
No.
it's only certain words. Like when he
And
says about, it's like a boot.
Yeah, but
You know?
even that, it's not as pronounced as what I would like. So, in fact, Drac, you have a fake Canadian accent. You don't quite pull it off, sir. I don't know if there's other parts of the country that I need to look at, but you're halfway there, sir.
We want to hear you say out and about. A little bit out and about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want a really good boot or a sorry or something. We don't get any of that from Drac. We get little hints of it.
Yeah, TM definitely has a more pronounced Canadian accent, but it still sort of sounds slightly American to me. But it's just certain words that they it's like New Zealanders. New Zealanders are the same. Like we sound like the same as New Zealanders, but it's certain words that'll actually come out because they say bro a lot. So it's like, hey bro, you know, instead of hey bro, it's hey bro. Or if they say like brew instead of bro.
Yes.
And what else? And if they say like obviously like you guys call them fries, but we call them chips, they'll say chops instead of chips. So
wow.
So it's certain words like Canadians that the accent comes out a lot more. What's this? Yeah, if you could step out on your Canadian track, that would be great for the whole group.
Oh, I was waiting for what Mark was going to say. I thought, what were you going to say, Mark? Were you going to talk about America's hat?
Talk about the wall of polar bears. I am not a fan of
Rob mentions the polar bear thing all the time.
I
we
know.
need help defending ourselves against those polar bears.
Yeah, TM Nerdy and Drac up on the Great Wall there, being the Night's Watch.
That for real is that, or that's a real thing as well. Canada and their wilderness is the real deal. Like
you're gonna say Canada then, weren't you?
yeah. I almost let that slip. But yeah, Canada's outback. I mean, wilderness. Yeah, that's the real deal. Like you'll go out there and just die. Like there's no. Like, I feel so safe. Like I can walk through the woods here, and maybe they'll see like a bear, and I'm like, oh, okay, get away, bear. But up there, they have real bears and mountain lions or whatever. Like they have big cats that'll attack you. And here we just don't have them. I think America killed off all of our wilderness many generations ago. And Canada and Australia, you guys were a little more, all right, we're not going to kill off everything.
We care about the environment.
Yeah, you were like, we have unique stuff here that you can only find here, so we're going to be careful with it. And America was like, nope.
But in saying that, if you saw a big ass grizzly bear, there's no way in hell you'd be like shoe bear. You'd like run the other way.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know. I probably would just die. Huge. You can't. Hey, grizzly's a real deal. Like you can't run from it. You can't out climb it. Like they're like, oh yeah, play dead. What? And you can't make yourself bigger too. Like a lot of animals, you like make yourself look bigger or something. What is a grizzly? It's a grizzly bear. They don't care about that. Just swat you in the face and you're dead. Just rip your whole face off. One paw grab, no face. How do you defend yourself with no face? Like, how you do it?
Do like the old Looney Tunes stuff or whatever like that. He'll smack you and you'll have like an outline of your body going through like 10 trees in a row.
Yes. Yeah, that's Canada. That's what I imagine Canada is. It's like cold wilderness, and then there's just beasts around every corner. And Australia is the opposite. That's just hot desert with beasts around every corner. I don't know how do you defend yourself out there? I don't know. The rock? Do you have that rock slingshot thing? I want to get good at that.
Oh. Now the indigenous people of Australia use boomerangs and spears. if they're really
Canada,
traditional.
Canada has more bald eagles than America. You guys ate all of yours. Oh shoot.
Oh god.
Oh, you're right,
Drax,
Jack. I'm sorry, man.
Drax coming up with the lines.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Everyone has to
They're
lean more.
endangered. They're not endangered. They went to Canada.
Are bald eagles endangered over there now?
They're protected. You're not supposed to. Like, people aren't hunting bald eagle. You're not supposed to, but I don't know. I know there was a video. It was like a YouTube short or something, and there was like 5 or 6 of them flying together. And I was like, Angel, look. I was like, look, there's 5 of them in one place at the same time. It's unbelievable. And it was like, to me, it was such a rarity. Like, you'll never see this again in your entire life. But I guess other places, yeah, they got it.
Yeah, we have eagles here too. We have eagles and
do they have like a
falcons.
lion body? Like, I imagine you have like an eagle that's like half of something else, like with a snake tail.
Like a griffin.
You know,
or
like
something
bigger
like that.
talons and just like grab children and like fly off with them.
Like they're creatures from like Harry Potter or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, like we have big birds and you have like killers that fly around and everybody's got to look up because your children might be snatched by an eagle. It's crazy.
Oh god. There's no way of them disputing the size of these animals, so he would make insane claims. Killed all the passenger pigeons and bisons. Bisons. Oh no, bisons are in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they killed off all of those a long time ago too.
Oh god. Everybody wanted their bison rug bloody,
Oh yeah,
things for their fireplaces.
I think was it Dancing with Wolves where they had all of them in the fields just skinned. It was awful. I think it was Dancing with Wolves. Yeah, I cried every time I saw it. Thank you, America.
Oh. Actually, do I have?
It's a field of buffalo carcasses, skinned and nothing else.
I'm just trying to see if I've actually got. I don't think I'd own Dancing with Wolves on DVD or Blu-ray. No, I don't. No, I'll have to buy it. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen it too.
Yeah, no, just trying to. What do you got? Daredevil, Dark Angel, Darker Than Black, Dark Man. No, Dancing with Wolves. No. Nope.
I don't know what happened with that. Sorry.
That's all right. What's this? The new Predator movie has skinned bisons as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, I won't. That's a horrible scene. That, like, you don't say it happened, but yeah, I won't give anything away. Yeah, I'm glad I was actually able to say that because that was an absolutely brilliant movie.
Look at Chip just handling business like a boss. This is what a boss looks like, everybody. Look at this guy. I mean, this guy's so badass. He's like, I'm going to live stream this so that all these young bucks can learn a thing or two.
And I was going to say, that's why he's talking on the phone. It's not FaceTime. Because if it was FaceTime, they'd be just laughing at him, go, what a nerd.
Not if you value your job, you won't.
You better update that StreamYard right now. Oh. That reminds me, because I know Mark was talking about it when Prey came out. I have not seen the later Predator movies. So I've only seen 1, 2, and the new one.
Oh, really?
I don't think I've seen any of the ones in the middle. Like, I know he said the one with Adrian Brody in it's supposed to be really good. I think that was called Predators.
I think it was Predators, yeah, where they dropped
Yeah.
everybody.
Mm.
They had an Aliens and Predator movie.
Actually, I think I might have seen that possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, they had one of those.
Yeah, I really need to watch
That
it.
was another franchise that got weird. Aliens was like so good, and then it
Went to
just
shit.
got weird. Yeah.
Mm. But then they started doing that. I never saw that. Was it Prometheus? Was supposed to be
Yeah.
like the prequel to Aliens or something or other, and
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I liked that.
That was probably my third favorite. And all the other sequels. I love the Danny Glover Predator, like Predator 2. That was awesome.
Not a fan.
You didn't like Danny Glover, or you didn't like the movie?
Yeah. No, the movie. Yeah, I know like a lot of like DJ. I think he said originally he didn't like it, and then he was able to appreciate it more later. And I've heard that from other people. Like, oh yeah, I liked it more. Just like later in life, but I'm a fan of number one. I mean, number one's just so good.
Yeah.
Arnold's in it. Arnold's awesome.
So I'm just trying to see. Oh, yeah, I've got a. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty stupid. I have Predators on DVD, but I haven't watched it. That's hilarious. I was just looking up at where the Predators were. I've got the double pack with 1 and 2 in it, and then next to it says Predators. Okay, so now I need to watch it. What's Flo saying? I thought Predator 2 was the only Predator up until I was. Yeah, but you're a kid. He's a young buck.
Yeah, you didn't have that TBS 24-hour Predator thing going on.
Two aged well. Yeah, they both 1 and 2 aged well. Because I can still watch number 1 anytime it's sort of, just randomly on TV or on a streaming thing. I can just chuck it on and just watch it over and over again.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of like one of those staple Arnold movies too. Like there's, I mean, Arnold was in a lot of movies, and Predator's one of the ones where it's like, if you're doing a marathon, you got to have Predator in there.
Yeah. So it's mainly more the older ones for me. So Commando, Raw Deal, Predator. Obviously, T1 and T2. I don't really worry about the other ones.
Hercules in New York.
No.
What was it, Mark? I missed. What did you say? I missed it.
He said Hercules in New York.
It was Arnold's first American film. First film.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw the original where it was dubbed, and then later they did the undubbed version. It's not good. It's not good. Sorry, Mark. It's not good. No. Arnold in the first one where they didn't like his voice, so they used some other guy. I don't know who did the voice. It is awful. Like it's really bad. It doesn't fit his body at all. Like he's huge, and it's like, I'm Hercules. Hi, everybody. And it's like, what are you doing? What is this? It's awful.
Sounds like a cult classic to me, man.
Then they were like, oh yeah, well we're gonna release the original, but Arnold, he was just talking in it. Like there was no acting involved at all. And it's his first movie. Like he went from bodybuilding to that, and then you just get this really stale Arnold. I'm Hercules. Oh, and it's like with an accent. So it's like both of them terrible.
It's the same with Pumping Iron, because that's all that was about, was just him.
No, I did like Pumping Iron.
Yeah,
I did like that. I remember watching. It was like a documentary they had on that, because they said that when they made Pumping Iron, it was a docudrama where it was like they like sensationalized it so that there was more drama to it. But it was, that it was legit the competition. and he said that they thought Lou Ferrigno was a ringer to win it. They really thought that he was going to win. And so like they portrayed Arnold kind of like a bad guy, but then he wins in the end. So you're like, well, shoot, like through the movie, he does a lot of douchey stuff and he says a lot of stuff where you're like, oh yeah, this is the villain. And then he wins. So it's like, and not only that, he won in life. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. Like, sorry, everybody.
You're just going to have to start being a douche.
Yeah.
Stop being such a nice guy, goddammit.
They have those interviews and he's like, I'll do anything to win. I'll backstab anybody, and you're like, oh man, this is horrible. But then he wins. And you're like, oh crap. But I remember cheering when he won. I was like, yes. Because it was like that was the other thing is like if in that movie, right, they show him he's in California. He's like got all these women. He's doing these commercials, and the woman's on his neck, and then Lou Ferrigno's in like a basement, like freaking really pumping iron. And they're like, "Oh yeah, he's deaf, and he was made fun of as a kid, and his dad's like a little too hard on him." And you're like, "Oh man, I really hope this guy can pull it off."
Sounds like Rocky 1. It's totally Rocky 1.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, Arnold was like, Arnold said that when Lou Ferrigno was in that competition, he was the biggest guy they had ever had, and they just thought it was a lock. They're like, this guy's going to come in and crush him, and he didn't. Sorry, Lou. I love you, but sorry, man, you lost. And it changed the flow of that movie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what other classic Arnold movies. Yes, I reckon Commando, Raw Deal, Predator, T1 and T2.
The 6 Day, Eraser.
True Lies.
Good. True Lies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, True Lies.
Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, Kindergarten Cop. Forgot about Kindergarten Cop.
Did anybody see the second one?
Mm-mm.
The newest one that they came out with?
Was it called First Grade Cop?
No, it had Dolph Lundgren in it. I remember seeing that and I was like, no. Good try.
Yeah. Dolph Lundgren was another one like what we were talking about with Wesley Snipes earlier. He never really broke it massively, but he's another one that did like a whole heap of B, C, D-list movies or whatever like that, and just churning them out one after another to try and become the
Big Trouble in Little Tokyo or something like that.
Big Trouble, Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Oh, I love that movie.
Jumps over the car in the beginning. I'm like, dope.
I'm a Jingle All the Way kind of guy. So.
Oh yeah, greatest Christmas movie of all time.
No,
that movie.
That is hilarious.
Dark Angel.
He was in He-Man.
He was
He-Man.
He was in the Rundown. Remember, he was in the Rundown,
but he was a great role. That was a good role for him.
I like how he was in the opening scene of the Rundown, which was The Rock's first show out on the action scene in film. He's walking out of the club as The Rock walks in. And he says, "Tough crowd."
Well done, Simon. I can't believe he actually remembers the Dark Angel movie.
Universal Soldier was a good one for Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. There was what's the other one he did with Lou Gossett Jr.?
Punisher?
No, he did another one. Cover Up? I think it was called Cover Up, I think. That wasn't bad.
I don't know that one.
I need you to do better, Chip.
I'm sorry.
You're so busy being an internet sensation. Can't keep up with 80s action movies.
Yeah. I couldn't even keep up with them in the 80s, let alone now. Although it's funny, I that was like my thing as younger, like 90s, early 90s was always go into the video store, so you'd hit the Family Video and the Blockbusters and all that, and I'd easily go in and walk out of there on a every day they come out. I was one of those regulars that would come in and get 6 or so, give me all the new releases or whatever and get them all and get to know the people, and then next thing you know, they're holding them under the counter for you, and here I got this one for you, I got that for you. So yeah, that was back in the day when I used to watch them all. Now it's like I don't have time.
Movies just don't have the same draw that they used to. They're few and far
No.
between that really have that same draw.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
used to watch some pretty foreign movies as well. There was one of my favorite foreign movies is called Red, White, and Blue. There was 3 of them: the red, the white, and the blue one, and they were very cool. Foreign, I think they were French films, but they were very cool.
Are you trying to tell us that you're into snuff films?
I am very much so. What? Not everyone's not. What the hell?
Yeah, I was about to say no one's judging.
You could have at least said The Professional. At least we would have known what you were talking about then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's a good movie.
sorry.
That's like Luc Besson's masterpiece.
Yep.
What's this? I saw it in the cinema in '89. Oh, the Punisher movie. I don't even know it hit cinemas. I thought it was like a straight to VH, or back then it would have been straight to VHS.
The Punisher's been played by 3 different people, right? So you have 4 people, yeah. Dolph Lundgren, Thomas Jane, Ray Stevenson, and John Bernthal. Hulk's been played by 3. Captain America's been played by 3. Spider-Man's been played by 4. If you're counting just like TV and film.
Yeah.
Hulk had 4.
Hulk had 4. If you count Lou and Bill Bixby as separate people. Yeah. No, it is 4 because Eric Bana. So if you count Lou and Bill as separate people playing Hulk, it's been 5. I would give it to Hulk because that's required back in the day. So I would definitely give it to Hulk. Daredevil's been played by just 2. Thor is just 2.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is just 2.
Oh, that's right, because there was all those.
There was another Doctor Strange.
There was all those 90s.
During the 70s. No, during the 70s when they're doing the television films, Doctor Strange has a pilot movie, which is his origin, and also Doctor Mordo, which is a live-action film that's not a comic book movie, is 100% originally a Doctor Strange script that licensing just went south. So they just changed the title of the movie and his name in the movie and still released it. But I'm not counting that one.
He has a blue cape instead of a red cape.
Yeah.
No, in the actual Marvel authorized one that came out in the 70s, his scheme was gold and purple, like the royalty colors, you know. And he didn't don his full outfit till the end.
Nick Fury too.
Nick Fury is 2 as well. Banshee is 2. Emma Frost, the White Queen, is 2. Because those 2 were in Generation X that premiered as a movie on Fox in the 90s. They were the teachers that were in charge of the class at the Xavier Institute. And then they both appeared in First Class.
Yeah, there's been quite a few multiples. And obviously, you start getting into DC and it starts even getting bigger numbers. Like, Superman and Batman, definitely.
Superman's had, if you're counting TV appearances, he holds the cake. He's got it all.
Because that started in like, what, 50s
40s.
or 60s or something? Oh, 40s, there you go.
I think the late 40s with the first one, and before George Reeves. George Reeves was like the first longest standing one, but God, I forget the guy's name who did it before George, and I believe it was the same guy that even did the voice during the radio broadcast, but he did it for like one serial, and then George Reeves took over for a couple of movies, including Superman versus the Mole Men, and then into the actual television series.
Who would jump? Was that George Reeves?
Yeah, George.
He did that little jump and then he would fly off.
Yeah, they all did the jump. George Reeves was the one that they switched over to when he was flying. It's literally animation because they dropped him on the wire work, and he said he'd never do it again. So you see him just kind of jump out a window, and there's like bags on the other side.
I remember the jump, yeah. Like he would run, and he would take a 1-step jump and then fly off. It's like, yes.
Oh, God.
It was Bud Collier.
Yeah, Bud Collier. Yeah, and
Bud Collier was the radio actor.
White Queen is 3 because X-Men Origins. She was one of the kids that Wolverine saved out of there. That's true. Jubilee probably holds more. It's been a different actress playing Jubilee in every single movie. It's almost like a running thing that they do. But yeah, you had Bud Collyer, George Reeves. You had 2 different actors that played Superboy in the 90s. Christopher Reeve. You had Dean Cain, Henry Cavill, of course. You have Tyler Hoechlin on there right now. Tom Welling.
Tom Welling, yeah, I was trying to think of his name. Yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. I've still
Bruce
got all.
Wayne's getting up there now too, Batman, because you have the actor who plays him there's 2 actors who played him in the 1940s for the 2 serials, Batman and Robin were 2 separate serials. And then of course you have his appearance in Gotham as a kid. You have his appearance as the older Batman in Titans. Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Affleck, Bale, Pattinson. It's wild to think about.
All right. I better call it because it's almost midnight and I've got to go to sleep.
Well, it's midnight. Still got a few more hours in you, man.
Yeah.
No,
Dude, it's not about what time it is where you are. It's about what time the little clock in the corner says.
Yeah.
You've only been on
trying
for
to get
2
you
hours.
watch hours, bro.
Yeah. Trying to get your watch hours. Yeah.
I don't need to worry about watch hours. I'm nowhere near that stage. Not even close.
Today, but tomorrow. You
Yeah,
forget.
I'll still be
One
mindful.
viral video away.
2 things happened today. One, Mark broke the news that's going to break the internet tomorrow. And 2, you had the White Shadow arrive.
Okay,
Remedy
let's go back to
Studios
number
is
1, the important one. What was the news? I missed it because I was on a phone.
Uh-oh. Here it comes again, people. Timestamp.
I didn't break shit. Go back to the first time step of, what was it, 132? No, I just got what I shared in the chat earlier, where Tales from the Flip Side, I believe his name is.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Ian McDonald, the CBCS losing the
CBCS
order.
guy. Yeah, I seen that
Telling him how
yesterday.
they've been third-party outsourcing submissions to somebody off-site to check in books.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
That's insane.
That is
Yeah,
insane.
I mentioned that before all you guys jumped on. It was 367 books
Yeah.
from Clan McDonald that they lost.
Yeah.
I'm concerned for Rob. I want to talk to Rob because, he's used their services for a handful of things. I hope his books are accounted for.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I know
definitely.
Rob. I think he goes through Rogue Trader most of the time nowadays because he was using Clan
Yeah, I
McDonald.
think he used Clan McDonald for some
He
facilitating.
did. Yeah, for some facilitating. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but I think Rogue can do facilitating now too. I don't know. Maybe not.
It depends on your connections to the artist.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, no, it's a very shit situation, that's for sure.
yeah, that's insane.
So cool. All right,
Cool.
I'm going to end it. I'm going to go to
All
sleep.
right.
Thank
Go
you
to
guys
sleep.
for joining me. I greatly appreciate you keeping me company instead of me just rambling to myself like normal.
No problem.
But yeah, thanks to everybody in the chat. I greatly appreciate it. I'm surprised I had more than 2 people in there. But no,
I appreciate you doing this. This made the morning really fun here.
Yep.
No,
Yep,
it's
definitely.
it's always good to. It's like Burke always says, and Marx is the same thing. I don't want to do this by myself. Somebody jump in.
Yeah.
I did an 8-minute stream yesterday because I didn't feel like doing it by myself, and I was really busy.
Mhm.
So, all right, guys, I'll
Cool.
end the broadcast. But thank you everybody for joining, and hope you have a good night or morning wherever you are in the world.
Y'all take
See
it
y'all
easy.
later.
Spidey out.
Bye.